Welcome to the 10,000 Patients podcast. 10,000 patients. That might seem like a lot. But can I break it down for you? Because once you break it down and you work towards the 10,000, you'll realize, oh, this is totally achievable. So let's do the math here. Now, because this is audio, I'm going to make sure my math is right, and I'm going to write it down as I speak because that way it can just stay straight in my head. So let's just make it easy, all right? 10,000 patients over a 10-year period means you're going to serve 1,000 patients every year. 1,000 patients could equate to 84 patients every single month. Now, to get 84 patients, and if you're only working one-on-one, that's a lot. I know there are chiropractors who are going through 84 patients a day. And then they're like, dang, I can't keep this pace up. I've been doing this for 15, 20, 25 years. I need a new way. I need to be able to maximize or have an exit strategy or a way to where I can help these individuals without having to adjust them. Okay, so if you really think about it, 10,000 patients broken up into a 10-year period, all it means is 84 patients every month. Now, what if you could create a 30-day program that served 20 patients at a time? And you ran that program, once a month. So say with the Cellcore Moon Kit, if that's even the technical term for it, it's a 30-day period and it's done over the full moon. Say you get 20 people in your current practice, your current clients, doing this full moon kit. 20 people every single month over the course of 12 months is a simple 240 people. That's just off of one program by you giving them a supplement kit that's going to help heal their body in some way, shape, or form, help them feel better or help them maintain that healthy status. Okay? 240 people, 20 of them each month. Times that over the course of 10 years, you're now getting to 2,400 people, and that's just by a simple 30-day kit that you're sending to them. What if we did a membership program where you started off your membership with 5 people, you were able to work that membership up over the next 3 years to 50 people, and now you've got 50 people inside a membership every single month. So 50 times 12 is 600. Say we're going to times that over a period of 6 years. Now you're at 3,600 people. So you really think about 10,000 patients and you break it down, it can make complete sense. And chances are you're probably pretty close to serving 10,000 patients over the last 10 years that you've been working in practice. Okay? So that's why I named the podcast 10,000 Patients. It's not necessarily a way to serve 10,000 people one-on-one, because that's not my specialty. My specialty is helping you introduce or implement new ways to serve the same clients and new ways to serve new clients, like a membership, like a 30-day program, like a 90-day program, like an educational platform that you keep telling yourself you're going to record. And you just don't quite ever get there. Or maybe this year's the year. 2025 is the year that you're going to start doing the things you keep saying that you're going to do. And you know what? That means you're going to block off Thursday afternoons every single week. It's going to be 4 hours of your time to create what you need to create to solidify your future and get you out of that grind of adjusting everybody every day. Or you're a nurse practitioner and you've been doing the natural world for yourself. You've been taking supplements and detoxifying your cleaning supplies at your house, and you're doing all these things. Now you want to help other people do them as well. So you're thinking, I want to bust out of my 9 to 5 and I want to make this virtual practice thing work for me, but I don't want to be stuck in the one-to-one grind. Well, this podcast is the place for you. What about the MD or the DO? You know what? Say $250,000 is pretty standard Or in Utah, I think it's like $150,000 for the MDs to make. Why? Because Mike tells me that he makes more money than the MDs in Utah. I just want to throw that out there because there's a fresh perspective upon thinking that, doctors just make all this money, or, surgeons are a whole nother story. But think about, as you're preparing for your 2025 and how you want to serve individuals, I want you to really get into your goals. Okay. Now, I don't necessarily like to write goals down. I'm just the kind of person where it's like, if I make up my mind, get out of my way. And you can ask my husband, okay? I should have come with a warning label, like, warning, this girl's a risk taker. And if she has her mind made up, you better just get out of the way. Otherwise, it's going to be hell for you. That would be my warning label that I would put over my forehead as we were dating, because now he knows. But yeah. And I didn't even know I had this in me, honestly, until I got out of school. And I just saw myself as, I do not want to be a broke chiropractor for the rest of my life, barely making ends meet, working 40, 50 hours a week. That's not what I have in my future. I want to figure out a way to where I can maximize what I can do in 20 hours a week. And right now I'm like 28. Sometimes I feel like it's 58. But that's just because I get a lot done in those 28 hours every week. So really sit back, and I want you to think to yourself, what do I want? It's January 2026. What is it that I truly want? And then I want you to think to yourself, or even write this stuff down. In fact, get out a piece of paper and write it down so that way you can tear it up and let it go. What are you doing that is not going to get you the goal you just set for yourself at the end of the year? Because I can't tell you how many times I've been told, well, I want to exit my practice, or I want to do this. And then I look at them, okay, that's cool. What are you doing to exit your practice? Yeah, about that. Okay, what are you doing to exit your 9 to 5? Do you have a Facebook account? Are you gathering some emails up? No, I need help. Okay, great. That's why I'm here. But when you tell me, when I ask you what your goal is for the next year in your business, and then you sit there and all of your actions point you to a different destination, I just have a hard time when what you're saying isn't matching with what you're doing. So I really want you to buckle down and think to yourself, no matter how freaking scary it is, and say, if I want this at the end of this year, what do I need to let go of? What do I need to implement? But here's my rule of thumb, and it's been my rule of thumb ever since the beginning. If I'm going to implement something new, I have to let something go. One of the very first things I let go of were supplements. There was a point in my world where Kelly and I, we would, systemic formulas was 15 minutes away at the time. Now it's literally 3. But we would go up to systemic and we would grab the supplements, and then we'd ship out the orders. And I was like, this is crazy. Why are we spending our time doing this for $10 we just made on those supplements? It's nuts. So I got to a point where we were starting to implement something else. And I said, okay, Kelly, supplements are gone. We actually directed all of our supplement orders to a different practitioner so she could take them and then just virtually have her receptionist virtually order them. It wasn't even within the state. So in order to make room for new things, you have to let old things go. Let me give you another example. A few months ago, we let go of my signature program. This signature program had gone through functional bloodwork specialist, it had then become foundational medicine specialist, and then it lasted on the sprint. And it had been, my bread and butter for 3 or 4 years. But with the new team and the new direction we were headed, it was time to go away. So I let it go. And return for something new, something even better. Out with the old, in with the new. And now the clinical program is purely Mike's. He's done a stellar job creating it. So if you want to go take a look and get into it this year, the goal of it is to not teach you anything new about science. The goal of it is to teach you how to speak patient language so that your patients say yes to these new programs you're about to implement because you want to have you want to be doing something else at the end of 2025. So for example, if I were to bring up methylation to a patient who's chronically fatigued, and you feel like maybe they even said MTHFR to you. Oh, I got this 23andMe test done, and it was MTHFR positive. Okay, and in your mind, you just attended a 3-day methylation seminar or a 5-day methylation workshop. Why? Because it's so complicated at the doctor level. Your patient doesn't give a crap about 99% of what you know about methylation. Okay, so for example, this is how I would communicate it to my patients. Even if I'm reading blood work and they have vitamin B12, or if there's an OAT test, an organic acid test that I used to run back in the early days, and there's an entire methylation section. Or, you're looking at the CBC and, that first portion of the red blood cell count correlates to methylation. I would say to them like this: hey, these numbers, they're letting me know that your body isn't utilizing B vitamins very efficiently. The reason why you care is because B vitamins are required to take food and convert it into energy. That's why if you look up your energy drinks and if you look up the ingredients on them, they're loaded with B vitamins. I could give you all the B vitamins in the world right now. In fact, you could go get a B vitamin injection and your body's still like, what do I do with this? I'm not quite sure. I'm not very efficient in converting these vitamins into usable form. So I'm going to give you a supplement inside your treatment plan that gives you the ingredients needed to take B vitamins and convert them into energy. Do you see the difference between what we're taught about methylation, doctor talk, versus patient talk? That's all about this clinical program. So we're going to have geniuses come through here. You are going to be a smart whiz when it comes to clinical stuff. But sometimes that really hinders you on the business side. Because you get so excited about methylation and you want to dive into at least a 10-minute spiel about why they care about methylation, and you lost them 10 seconds in. And then you wonder, why didn't they say yes to my program? I thought my program was so good. I thought I was really good at what I do. In reality, it's just a communication whole. This clinical program is also designed for practitioners who have, say they serve 80 patients a day, speaking of 10,000 patients. And they see in their mind at the end of the year that instead of working 5 days a week, they're working 3.5. They've got all of their patients combined into those 3.5 days. So they're rocking and rolling those 3.5 days. But then they also see more money streams coming in. Additional income that doesn't take their time. A 90-day program in which their assistant or a health coach is running 1 hour a week. And the supplements got shipped directly to people's doors. They profited $750 from each one. That is a phenomenal program, for one, if you have the language correct. People don't care about fixing their hormones. They care about having balanced libido so they can improve their relationship with their husband. They care about being able to go out on date night and not worrying about if the food they're going to eat is going to mess up with their energy levels the next day. If something's just going to trigger that autoimmune disease. So inside the new clinical program called Protocol Prime, Mike's going to take these complicated doctor science-y things and simplify them in a way in which your patients care. So that way you, as the practitioner, can speak at the language which they understand. And if it's not less than a 10-year-old language, we've got to keep working on it. So that way you get them to say yes easier. These patients of yours, they come in for their chiropractic visit, maybe maybe they think of you as just their doctor for autoimmune disease. Then they got to go see a gastroenterologist for their GI stuff. And then they got to go see a hormone specialist for their hormones. But in reality, you see the whole body as a whole, and you could help them with all of the things if you were to create yourself at that expert level. Where now, instead of them paying $6,000 for this program they saw on Facebook, they're coming to you. They're saying, hey, doc, I know we've been discussing autoimmune concerns, but I really have this bad GI problem going on. Can you help with that? Here's my blood work. Or, they come into you, or they're looking for help with their nutrition, and you say to them, well, has anybody ever taken blood work along your journey? Oh yeah, they always take blood work and tell me it's normal. Well, their normal and my normal are different. So is there a way for you to pull up those labs? Let me see them, and let's get them translated into a functional view and see what's really going on. Now you as a nutritionist just became an expert in labs. Do I teach new things in labs? Nope. Do I teach labs in a way that helps you understand them and translate them to your patients? Yes, because I don't teach practitioners labs differently than I teach patients. It's the exact same way I teach both. The reason why is because we are so up here in our heads about doctor talk, and patients don't care. They want to know in 5 seconds, what's wrong with my labs? You got this, boom, 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 done. 5 seconds later, oh, you're fighting this bacterial infection. Oh, you have unbalanced blood sugar. Oh, you know what? Your adrenals are shot. Look at these sodium and potassium markers. Let's start working on cleaning out toxins in your life. Your ALT and AST numbers are elevated, meaning your detox system's overwhelmed. Now when you go to give them a 30-day detox, they care. Now when you say, you're going to take this 30-day detox, not only is it going to help the numbers in your labs, but you're going to feel better too, and I can't wait for you to come back and tell me in 30 days what that difference was. Because it's different for everybody. This is the new clinical program. It is all about taking that doctor talk and removing it out of our heads and creating patient talk. So we keep the patients that we're working with on and just get to work with them on a bigger level so that we attract more patients easily because we're speaking to them. We're not speaking the way that we've been taught in our doctorate programs, in our bajillion certifications, in our, that workshop that you went to or that seminar that you attended. You thought, yes, I'm going to be able to have everything laid out for me piece by piece. I'm going to have protocols. I'm going to have systems. I'm going to have everything I need for the clinical treatment of inside virtual stuff. And $1,000 weekend later, you're saying to yourself, I just have more questions. Great. Do I start with gut? Do I start with hormones? Where do I start? Do I start with detox? Does everybody need detox? Does everybody need gut destruction? Or can I just have a simple system and a simple grab the blood work and find solutions and find them quick answers? Not to mention the blood work in and of itself. If you haven't done it yet, and if you've been in my world, it's time to do it because that is the number one way you're going to attract clients online. I've seen it over and over and over and over and over again. It's stellar for a reason. All right. Now, that said, 10,000 patients, if you unravel the numbers and work backwards, you're going to see, oh, it's very achievable. But I don't want to serve 10,000 patients one-on-one by the time of next year. or even in 10 years, I want to be able to implement new strategies, new programs that don't require a ton of my time, but can get them better at multiple levels. Now, is a 30-day program going to solve all their problems? No. But it's going to get them improved. And then maybe they graduate into the 90-day program, or maybe they graduate into your membership, or maybe the membership is where they start. There's so many different things that you can do in the virtual space. There's so many different things that you can do in any space that you're in, even if it's a brick and mortar and you have 10,000 patients in the past. You've got 10,000 emails. Now you're saying to yourself, yeah, I can reactivate those individuals. I helped them relieve their back pain, or, they came into me as a hormone specialist for injectables, or I was their autoimmune specialist and they would calm down their immune system by removing their inflammatory foods out of their diet. Like, you can utilize your history of clients by just offering them something new. And it doesn't even need to be complicated. But you got to speak their language. And not only do we help you speak their language with complicated clinical stuff dumbed down, I like to explain it like this. We are taught clinical things at a level 25. We're going to bring it down to a level 7, hopefully even a level 3. So don't join this clinical program thinking that you're going to learn something new about methylation. We're going to learn something new about cellular detox. We're going to learn something new about parasites. Because you're not. And if you've done multiple things inside blood work, you're not going to learn anything new in blood work either. But if you're new to blood work, and if you're new to this world of alternative medicine, it's the perfect place for you, because you're going to know exactly what you need to know to get clients and to help those clients get better, rather than walking down the bajillion rabbit holes that all these other programs provide to you. And then you're still left trying to figure it out on your own. Okay, so think about this. Whether you're well into the field of practice already or you're new to it, this is going to be the clinical program that helps you get clients better quickly in a group setting as well, or even a DIY setting. Like, you can send kids to their house and it's just a DIY, do-it-yourself program. Or it's the perfect place to start and to flourish, because you don't need to know the level 25 doctor talk. You need to know the level 3 patient talk. There's a big difference. Okay, so that's inside the Protocol Prime. It's a brand new program. We also have a brand new program going on with Gold. This is a Gold collaboration. It's all about creating that one piece of content that builds you credibility, authority, and gets you bringing in clients automatically. I've heard from so many people that they don't even know where to get clients from in the online space. This is it. I've also heard that, that we run emails or we run ads over the weekend. From those ads, we get a couple people in the office each week, but I'm tired of having that as my routine. I need something where I can automatically have clients rolling in, where I can be building out my email list. So when I do create a 30-day DIY program, I've got 5,000 people there waiting for me to send it off to. That's the power of utilizing something like our Gold program to build out a solo book, and not just any book, but a book that sells. And I will tell you, the doors are closing fast because we're going to do this cohort together, me and you, and then a group of other colleagues. So that way we can do it as a community. We can hold each other accountable, because I've been told a bajillion times, Kylie, I have the outline of a book, but I haven't started it. Or I have a couple of chapters written, but I haven't actually turned it into a book. Now, there's a difference between having a book like this one, and I'm going to tell you guys, this Wire My Labs book brought a whole entire new world of business to me. And it wasn't even done in a very great way, to be honest with you. But having the book in and of itself built that credibility, built that authority, built that trust. Now, you can no longer find this on Amazon or anywhere else. At least you shouldn't be able to. Why? Because I believe books need to be written in a way that sell clients, bring in clients to your world fast. So it's going to like replace the webinars, replace the workshops, replace all of these extracurricular things that you think you need to do to bring in clients with one piece of content. Now you're not just fighting through social media to grab people's attention. Oh, and for those of you who have been connected to a supplement company, I don't care if it's an MLM or whatever, imagine everybody grabbing your book, then going to your sales page where they can get all the information for your products that you're participating in, and now you've got a new customer. Okay? Books are freaking powerful. I've spent over $150,000 in 2024 building out books for 2025. Speaking of that, my next one's coming out very, very soon. And I cannot wait because it is something that I have spent hours and hours, let's just say 3 to 4 hours a week for the last, 4 or 5 months. But that's going to be replacing all of my live launches. My whole reason for writing the books and spending the $70,000 I did on just this one book was to make my life easier in 2025. I wanted to be able to look back at the year and say, you know what, I didn't have to live launch every freaking month. Am I good at it? Yeah, I am. But it's exhausting. And I want to be able to be back inside programs, helping those inside the programs and training them, being on the inside, which means I don't have space to be launching every month. So, books. The other thing that's going to be inside this gold program, if you would like it, is podcasting. So we have, like I said, when I create new things, I have to let old things go. The Sprint, the Functional Bloodwork Specialist program, is gone. It's been replaced with something better, or at least something more designed for helping you get patients, meaning we're not giving you a master's degree in clinical stuff. We're giving you what your patients care about so that it translates into business. And we're giving it to you in a step-by-step format so you know exactly what you need to do with no matter who walks through your door or who sends you a DM on Instagram or Facebook. You're set, okay? Now, I say that very confidently because I know that's what the blood work does. It doesn't matter what people come to me with, POTS, the unknown, crazy autoimmune conditions, a crazy history of going from this specialist to this specialist to this specialist. I don't care. What I care about is what their blood work says. So welcome to the Foundational Medicine Institute, where we care about what the body needs to heal at the cellular level, what the body needs for systems to run, and then let's keep track of it all with blood work, because that is our underlock key. We all have it. So easy to get at our doctors, at least I would hope it is. All right, 10,000 Patients podcast. Now coming up this year, we don't have any guests, but we do have some stellar episodes where you get to go behind the scenes and watch me laser coach. We did this on a 3-day live event. And so these next 3 episodes you're going to hear are about laser coaching, specifically regarding building and building programs. Okay? This month, January, we're going to focus on the build it phase of the formula. February focuses on brand it. So build it, brand it. March is bank it. You can be the best clinician in the entire world, but if you don't have a great relationship with money, it's not going to translate to a successful business. So we're going to help you upgrade that relationship with money. It's one of my favorite things to talk about, but that wasn't always the case. So build it, brand it, bank it, become it, book it, better it. So that's the next 6 months of episodes. And I will tell you, you've never heard anything like these things. So stay tuned. And if you've been thinking about joining our world, the clinical program is open. Gold doors are shutting probably this week, maybe next week. So let's get that 2025 year set so that your client attraction system is automated. See you guys later.